Hey guys, welcome back to another one. This is Crypto Elite, home to the #1 Theta community. And if you like this content, please like and subscribe to the channel. And once again, I'd like to remind everyone of Rewarded TV. This is very much like Netflix or Hulu, except you get paid to watch media on it, and it's on the Theta blockchain. I have a link in the description below. If you sign up and watch 30 minutes of Reward TV, you will get 100 replay tokens, and I will get 100 replay tokens as well. But in this video, we are going to be talking about some exciting news. This is a brand new release from the Theta ecosystem, and it is release version 3.4.0. And this has to do with some pretty exciting stuff, and we will dig into it right now. So there's this Twitter post, and if you're not up to date or if you don't follow them on Twitter, I highly recommend it. This is where I get most of my news for the overall Theta ecosystem. And they posted the Medium article, which talks through Theta version 3.4.0 upgrade to go into effect by September 28th. It's preparing for the metachain by adding wrapped Theta and staking via smart contracts. So yes, that is a big thing. I think it has a couple more implications beyond just what we'll talk about here. I remember in a previous video, I totally thought that Coinbase was going to add Theta being a wrapped token. So I think I might be off on that prediction, but this has a lot of more use cases for the overall Theta token, and it will help with the overall staked amount of Theta, which is already a pretty darn high number as well. So Theta is a very scarce asset, and it's just going to continue to become more and more scarce. That's why now is a very good time to accumulate. If you are or if you're not, I highly recommend now is the time to accumulate, not financial advice. But let's dig into this article. So we're pleased to announce that Theta 3.4 will soon go into effect via the hard fork in late September. So this upgrade enables the support for wrapped Theta as a TNT20 token, and it's a critical prerequisite to the launch of the Theta metachain, as well as staking Theta or TFUEL into Guardian nodes or Elite Edge nodes from smart contracts. So yes, this is something that could not be done before. Wrap Theta being a TNT20 token, there's a lot of use cases. One of those primarily is MetaMask. For everything that we use MetaMask for, the decentralized applications, it's always TFUEL or some other TNT20 token like T-Drop. That's another one where you can use it for the overall Theta drop, which is the NFT marketplace for Theta. There's also, if you create, like I created my own token, and you can check out my previous videos on how to do that on the Theta blockchain. That is a TNT20 token. So these are things that I can integrate with other applications, decentralized applications, and use. But Theta itself, before this, you couldn't add it to MetaMask. So when this goes into effect, I'm sure there will be updates very, very soon as to how to add that wrap Theta onto MetaMask to start deploying it and adding it to liquidity pools. And there's just a lot of things where that wrap Theta can be used for, and I do look forward to seeing what all it is going to be used for. So this release will perform a hard fork to enable features at this block height, which is approximately 7 p.m. on September 28th, 2022. And if you're running a validator node, it is a mandatory update to the new version, or else you're going to fall out of sync after the hard fork. And yes, I used to run a validator node. It is actually very, very easy to update and sync. So if you do run a validator node, or if you want to in the future, just make sure that you do update and resync it to the newest version, so that there are no hard forks of the Theta blockchain. That would be a hot mess, and we don't want to have to deal with that one. So Wrap Theta is a TNT20 token that is wrapped around the native Theta token via a smart contract. So this allows Theta to be used within smart contracts, which normally it isn't possible as a native token. And that's why we couldn't do it before, like I was saying, on MetaMask. And as we'll see a little bit later in this video, it's just one of those things that we've always kind of wanted, but the use case, of course, it's there. A lot of people want to trade, a lot of people want to buy it, but it's just the way it is. You couldn't do it. But being a wrapped TNT20 token, now you can start utilizing it the way that we want to use the Theta token. So you may be familiar or with a similar concept with wrapped ETH, and you can use that in apps like Uniswap or Maker. So those are some very similar ways to utilize wrapped versions of the tokens. Another good thing that we can see is wrapped versions also goes against and helps with that staking amount. So as we can see here with TFUEL, we can see that approximately 40% of TFUEL is locked right now, or staked and locked. So if we hover over it, we can see that the actual percentage, the TFUEL staked is 37%, but the rest of that 40.2% is actually a wrapped smart contract. Right now it's a little bit smaller. Back in when we were not in the crypto winter, it was higher. So that is going to boost the overall amount of TFUEL that is staked and or wrapped. So it's taken out of the circulating supply. That's one way to look at it. Even though it's there, it just doesn't affect it for the price fluctuations, which is good when the price rises and not so good when the price tends to fall. But in the next bull run, it'll definitely help. So that is one thing that will be beneficial. TFUEL is one thing because it has a high inflation. So the more TFUEL that is staked and locked is definitely beneficial. But Theta, this is even more beneficial because it has a locked max supply, and that max supply is already fully released, which is fantastic. So if there's a smart contract out there that will incorporate locked Theta, that's just going to continue to boost this number and continue to decrease the circulating supply. That's why the Theta metachain, Theta mainnet 4.0, is actually a very, very beneficial thing if you are a Theta holder. So that's why I recommend continue to accumulate, because the Theta tokens that are out there are going to continue to get more and more scarce. And this smart contract is going to be the main driver for that. So if we go back to the article here, we can see that this upgrade is critical in that it permits Theta to be used in Theta-based dApps for DeFi or within MetaMask wallets, among other use cases. And that's kind of what I showed you before. It's also a means to staking Theta to Guardian nodes or TFUEL to Elite Edge nodes can now be done through smart contracts, which makes pooled staking easier and allows users to create a variety of staking products. And although I don't have it up right now, if you're familiar with VoltSwap, that has a lot of liquidity pools out there, and they are all TFUEL based. So you have TFUEL and T-Drop and TFUEL and Volt and TFUEL and other assets out there. But now you can start having Theta and start adding that Theta into liquidity pools, which is very, very good. So finishing this up, additionally, for upcoming metachain upgrades, Wrap Theta is needed to register a subchain and to post Theta collateral for the subchain validators. And we can check that out. If we go to the Theta mainnet 4.0 white paper, yes, we can see that. So this does not change or degrade the existing tokenomics of the Theta blockchain in any way. On the contrary, subchains actually increase the utility and demand for both Theta and TFUEL. In particular, Theta tokens are required as collateral for any subchain. They don't say how much, but yes, there's going to be a chunk of Theta tokens, and I imagine it's not going to be as big as 200,000. It might be less than that, but if it's somewhere between 1,000 to stake Theta and 200,000 to run a validator node, that's a huge chunk of Theta tokens that's just pulled away from the circulating supply, which is fantastic for the price, especially in the next bull run. So, and subchains ultimately rely on the main chain to maintain their security and integrity, which makes Theta staked on the main chain more important than ever. So yes, I think this is going to be very bullish for the overall price. So altogether, it means greatly increased utility for Theta token and for the ecosystem as a whole. And then wrapping this up, once the upgrade is complete on September 28th, Theta wallets, apps, or will be updated to allow users to wrap and wrap Theta through the wallet interface. Documentation will also be provided for the wrap unwrap process, as well as how to stake Theta and TFUEL via smart contracts. And I will have videos out for both of those whenever they are provided. So if you have any questions, let me know. I think this is very, very bullish for the overall price action for Theta, and also just for continuing to move the overall Theta mainnet forward. This is an integral piece, and I'm very happy that it is coming to light very soon. So if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you on the next one.